Is this on?
It's
Yes,
on.
good. Thank you. Well, where did Karen go? Karen, you ready to start? Okay. I want to go ahead and call the meeting to order. And the first thing I'd like to do is to recognize our Veteran of the Month, Ryan Turridge. Ryan, we're going to ask you to come up front in a minute. Really quickly, let's just say that the proclamation we're giving you, it ends, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it ends as I, Rick Roberts, Mayor of the City of Ball Ground, do hereby proclaim Ryan Turnage as the Veteran of the Month for the month of May and extend to him our sincere appreciation for his sacrifice and contributions he's made to our great nation and our community. Thank you, Ryan.
I'm going to tell you about Ryan. Y'all already know about Ryan. Ryan Turnage is a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, Semper Fi.
Right.
He served honorably from September 2006 until September 2013. Following in his grandfather's footsteps, Ryan chose to be a Marine in hopes to one day emulate the man for which he respected so deeply. Our son did the same thing. My dad was a Marine. September 19, 2006, Recruit Turnage stepped onto the yellow footprints at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Parris Island, South Carolina. You don't have a picture of the yellow footprints. When we went to graduation, we tried to get our son to step back on me. He said, no, you only stepped on it once.
One time.
But his journey began after that. After successfully graduating from recruit training, followed by Marine combat training, and then 4 months at his military occupational specialty training, Private First Class Turnage arrived at his first duty station at Headquarters and Support Battalion, Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Ryan had not realized that he was being assigned to a non-deployable unit. This was every Marine's worst nightmare, as they're all trained with a singular focus to fight and win. After many attempts over a year and a half, later his wishes to transfer to a combat unit were finally approved. On December 31st, 2008, now Lance Corporal Turnage and his fellow Marines at Regimental Combat Team 6, 6th Marine Regiment, 2nd Marine Division, deployed to Camp Ramadi, Al-Anbar Province, Iraq, in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. They arrived on January 11th, 2009, and Lance Corporal Turnage was immediately promoted to corporal. You must be doing something right.
Perfect time.
That's perfect. Corporal Turnage bounced from infantry unit to infantry unit throughout the areas of operations in order to document, and publish newsworthy articles describing all of the successful events his fellow Marines were accomplishing. During his combat tour, Corporal Turnage was asked to re-enlist. After 9 months overseas, he was sent to Marine Corps Recruiting Station Baton Rouge, Louisiana, to serve as the marketing and public affairs representative at the headquarters. Sergeant Turnage made the decision to exit the Marine Corps after 7 years and 11 days of honorable service. His decorations include Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal, Navy Unit Commendation, 2 Marine Corps Good Conduct Medals, 2 National Defense Service Medals, Iraq Campaign Medal with 1 star, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Sea Service Deployment Ribbon, Expert Rifle Qualification, and 2 certificates of commendations and 3 letters of appreciation. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
In August of 2018, Ryan and his wife and friends planned the beginnings of the Barrel House Coffee Company in Ball Ground, and on November 30th, 2018, Barrel House Coffee Company had its soft opening, followed by a permanent opening on December 8th, 2018. And it's the best coffee I've ever had. For the first 9 months, Ryan ran the day-to-day at the shop with little assistance, as everyone else involved had full-time jobs. Life being as unexpected as it is, Ryan's wife Katie lost her job, and then shortly after found out she was pregnant with her first child, Luke. That's you. After months of job hunting to no avail, Ryan decided to pass the coffee shop torch to Katie and find a steady income while the new business was trying to get off the ground. In November 2019, he started his current career at Lockheed Martin Aeronautics, where he supports America's allies in maintaining their C-130J Super Hercules. That is our challenge coin. We made it when, no, we'll step out front. I was just pointing to the Veterans Memorial. We created that coin. If you look at the backside of it, you have to pull it out. The backside of it has the Veterans Memorial, and then the front has our seal.
That's very nice. Thank you so much.
And we have Roger Morris here. He's also a recipient.
You got it.
Congratulations, Ryan.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for all you do.
Ryan has an outstanding military experience and an outstanding veteran, but also his business here in Ball Ground, it's been a great asset for us. But we appreciate his time on the Downtown Development Authority of the city. So we're lucky to have you, and so proud to offer this proclamation for Veteran of the Month.
Thank you very much.
Want to step down for pictures? We'll get everybody down.
You want to go in front?
If I was tall like you, it wouldn't matter.
Exactly. Chris makes me look short.
You want your family? Luke, come on up. Get a picture.
Want me to hold you?
Pick him up.
Thanks, bud.
There you go.
There we go.
Good job.
Dennis, I'll call you Dennis.
Oh, done.
Okay, there you go. All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Thank you so much.
That's the truth. Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Absolutely.
Air flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much.
Are you done? You're not done yet.
Enacted. Okay, again, thank you, Ryan. At this time, I need the council to approve the agenda that we have submitted earlier to you. Have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Chris, second.
Second.
Vicky, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. This time, are there any appearances or anybody wants to address the council? Okay, we'll move on to announcements. Chris, you have those announcements of?
Yes, sir.
By the way, we're missing Eric. He's in a conference and out of town, so we miss him, but it may be the first meeting I've been to that he hasn't been. So we'll see how that goes.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So as you all can probably see outside the windows here, we're setting up for the Ball Ground Botanical Gardens plant sale. This will be on May 13th, right here outside City Hall. And then the following Saturday on May 20th is the rescheduled Barbecue and Brews Festival. We had a weather event at the previous date, and that will piggyback on to the Whiskey Rose concert. The hours of that day will be from noon to 9:30, with the concert starting at 7:30.
Thank you, Chris. Okay, you have received a copy of the minutes from our April meeting. Karen, did you make a change to that? Have you handed it out? Okay. It was, some budget information was incorrect. She's redone it.
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda with the changes.
Okay. We've approved the agenda,
I'm sorry,
the minutes.
the minutes.
Yes,
I'm backing up.
sounds like me. Okay, Dennis,
Go ahead, Scott.
Scott? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed to the minutes? I don't think we've ever had anybody opposed to the minutes. But, thank you, Karen. We'll move on now to one item of old business, and that's the second reading of our 2023-2024 operating budget. Our fiscal year for the city of Ball Ground is from July 1st through June 30th. So that's why we do budgets for, it sounds like 2 years, but it's half of 23 and half of 24. We haven't had any changes since our first approval last month. We are, just FYI, we're up about $1 million, our budget is, over the previous year, and the budget total is just over $6 million. I might say, Karen knows this, if you go back years ago, we didn't even have maybe $200,000. But we've grown and we've gotten, we're spending more money and we're receiving more money. But for this year, we're asking for approval of the new budget totaling $6.047 million. Have a motion to approve? That's the second reading?
Motion to approve.
Okay, Chris, is there a second?
Second.
Annette? At this time, any discussion? Any comments?
This budget includes another police officer. We're trying to work our way to 24/7 police coverage. We're so close.
Yes, that's a key goal of us to get our police department full-time. It's outstanding, even part-time, but we want full-time. And Chief, that all right with you?
That's great.
Okay, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. That passes, so our budget now is approved. All right, we'll move to new business. The first item, that's item 8A, consider notice to proceed for Valley Street sidewalk extension. What this is if you walk up Valley Street into downtown, you know our sidewalk ends before you get to the railroad tracks. You have to step out in the street to cross the tracks. And so in the past, cities were required to put in a gate and an alarm to put a sidewalk over tracks. And poor city of Woodstock had to do that years ago, $250,000. And so we knew we thought it was going to cost us that much, but we worked with a company a few months ago and actually got approval from the railroad to move forward. Chris, you want to update that any?
I don't think there's been any changes since Eric overviewed it at the work session. Like the mayor said, the previous plans and requirements would have kicked this into the six figures. We have a solution here with the rail company, and everything goes through them. They own that property. So instead of it being a six-figure project with signalization, it's now going to be essentially a sidewalk extension for much less there. I think the project budget says $45,000 and some odd dollars. So haven't heard any updates since the work session, so we're proceeding. We have the application in, and get it done. We need it.
Yes, we do. I won't get run over by a car when I walk out on the street there, but I'm excited that we're going to do this. But I need the council to approve the $45,717 cost.
I make a motion.
Okay. Motion by Scott, second by Annette. Any further comments?
That's also ADA compliant too.
Yes.
So would be
yes.
a big plus too for people parking in that parking lot and having to come out, so.
It will be. It's
Strollers, wheelchairs.
I'm not sure about bicycles.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any opposed? Thank you. We can, any idea how quickly we're going to move on to this, Chris?
I don't know. I think that'll be up to the railroad approving everything that we have in, but I can assure you staff will move as fast as we can.
Well, is it Rapid Track?
Yes.
Is the company doing it? Yes. Okay. All right, let's move on to item B, new business. This is consider adoption of the zoning map. Annually, we always adopt our zoning map, just usually in January every year. This year, though, we were updating our zoning ordinance, and we also were changing some of the types of zones in our ordinance. So we have not approved the zoning map for this year so far, so it's time to do that. So could I ask for a motion to approve our current zoning map?
Make a motion to approve the zoning changes.
Okay.
Second.
All right. Any comments? Sure, we covered it. Work session.
I just want to make a comment that Chris has worked very, very hard on this project. And thank you for your hard work.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, I'm assuming nobody opposes it. And Dennis is right. We're so lucky to have Chris. Chris is, he's acting as the manager tonight. But he, in a lot of ways, does that often too. But he's extremely talented and knowledgeable of planning as our planning person here in the city. And as we've started to grow, that's very important to have someone full-time like that. So great job, Chris. Next item under new business is something that we talked about several years ago. Then pandemic hit and we backed off and stopped meeting. And this is to put together a historic preservation committee. And this committee hopefully will put together most cities that have historic properties in them. And downtown Ball Ground is on the National Register of Historic Places. So Ball Ground probably had the second most historic building. I'd like to put forth these members. I'll start with Annette Homiller. Annette lives in a historic home in the center of town. And also I would like to request that Josh Briggs as a builder, so we can understand the impact of builders, as far as doing historic requirements. Stephanie Joyner, she's a resident that is head of the Cherokee County Historical Society. I'd like for Karen to serve on that, as she's part of the Ball Ground Historic Society. And the last one I'd like to suggest is someone that used to serve on the DDA, Brent Richardson. Brent, I haven't asked her. I hope she will. But she served for years on the DDA, and also she lives in downtown. So I think she has a good understanding of the importance of our historic district. So could I recommend those 5 members for Historic Preservation Committee? And if so, I'd like the council to approve it.
Motion to approve.
Okay. Motion for
Second.
Chris, second for Dennis. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
great. This is exciting. We've needed to do this for some time, but we got going in the pandemic. We couldn't meet, so we'll get going again. Okay, the next item is on our agenda is consider appointments for Economic Development Committee. I actually have thought that we probably need, as the council, we need to meet, spend some time at our work sessions to come up with the goals of this committee. That was, sometimes for the DDA, that was a problem that we weren't connecting with what should be done. And I think, and Eric's been very much supportive of holding off on putting the committee together until we actually, as a whole group, approve the purpose and things that it will be working on, particularly downtown. And so could I, if you would, I'd like to ask that we table this item on the agenda for at least 30 days.
Motion to table.
Okay, motion by Chris.
Second.
Scott? Any questions or comments for that? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, good. We'll make sure on our next work session that we spend some time on that because, again, we want it to be active and doing the things for business development, economic development in the city, and particularly the downtown area. So I want us all to be on board with what we're planning to do or want to do, the committee to work on. The next item under new business is consider a memorandum of understanding with the County Sheriff's Department for the purchase of flock cameras. Flock cameras. I'm going to ask Chris to update us on that because she's knowledgeable of that particular system.
Kind of knowledgeable. Flock cameras are really big all over the United States. I don't know, I mean, this is not a good way to use as an example, but the mass shooting that just happened in Atlanta, it was actually a flock camera that picked up the car on where they were at and located the person. It's another set of eyes for law enforcement to have out there. And they're really good, really accurate. They can, if we have them in our city, our officers can go on, and if they're looking for somebody, they can look at through Cherokee County's flock cameras, City of Canton's flock cameras, Woodstock. Pretty sure Holly Springs has them too, so it's a kind of a universal tool. I mean, they can actually go into other counties too, and it's just a way to really help our law enforcement officers get the bad person that's out there, and find them and track them. It could be, that it helps, it could save an officer's life, it could save an innocent person's life, it could, to me, it's just an invaluable tool to offer to our officers, and I think it's super important to have, and we're kind of the last ones that don't have them, that aren't participating, and with us pushing so hard to get our department full-time and everything, I just think it's one more tool, for our department to have and to work with and make them even that much more successful in what they do.
That's right. We need to be part of it. And now, Vicki, you talked with the sheriff, right?
Yes,
And you want to update us on what we've agreed to?
If the city agrees to do this, the sheriff has agreed to meet us halfway and pay for 50% of the cameras. There will be four cameras in each one of the corridors in and out of our city. So if the council approves this, we'll cut our expense for these flock cameras in half. And I believe the first year is like $4,000 for each camera.
It's first year, I believe it was $14,000 for 4 cameras. So that would be $7,000 for the sheriff's office, $7,000 for us, and that's because it covers the install of the cameras. And then the second year, it would be $12,000, $6,000 for the county, and $6,000 for the city of Ball Ground. But to me, you can't put a price tag on safety.
No, and it will also eliminate the need for sometimes high-speed chases because they will know exactly where the bad guys are going and they'll be waiting on them, you know.
We already have one in the area in use now, and that's at Fairview Road. It's not city limit, but right there as people come out off the interstate, off of 515. So if you're not sure what one is, if you're heading that way north, you'll see that little camera with the, off to the left, picking that up.
Chief Reeves, you're in favor of this, certainly.
They're very good tools, they're not only just for, you can detect missing people, if they're entered into the computer system based off tag information. It don't store tag information, it just scans numbers. And when that number hits, that sequence of numbers, it alerts. And we can get alerts in the computer, through the radio, through dispatch. And like she said, it not only lets us access the ones in Cherokee, but Pickens has them, Jasper has them. I know as far north as Hiawassee has them, and this 515, 575 corridor it goes a long ways. There's a lot of stuff goes up and down that road. So having access to that, we don't have any on the interstate, so if we could get them close to the exit ramps, and that would be very beneficial. A good example, I don't know if y'all remember, I think it was 4 years ago, 3 years ago, when Officer Young, Sergeant Young, chased the guys from Alabama with the guns and we got in the shootout down here. That's how they tracked them here. It was Cobb County had them at the time. And they were tracking them on those flock cameras coming through Cobb. We were northbound on 575. And they were able to tell exactly what time they passed what camera and where. And then they tracked them to here. Fortunately and unfortunately, he caught them at Al Bridge. But that was an example of how those things work.
Comment.
If anyone is interested, the locations that was discussed was Highway 5, north and south of the city, Howell Bridge Road and 575, and then on 372. Those will be the 4 corridors that will be, the cameras will be positioned.
So they'll be recording vehicles coming in and out,
It will be on.
going out of the city?
I don't think, can you even escape ball ground without getting on one of those corridors?
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think it's
Yeah, but when they did this study, the company did the study, they made sure that all arteries coming in and out of the city were covered by the cameras, so.
Well, I think that's something that's going to be very good for our police department and our people, safety. So I appreciate you two particularly.
Just commenting on that, our cameras will be handled through Cherokee County, and they have the contract, and I'm sure that Cherokee...
So we don't have control?
Right, and
No.
I'm sure Cherokee County is very stringent on I's dotted and T's crossed with as many cameras as they have throughout the county.
Whit, are you familiar with this?
I am familiar with the flock camera system. I'm not familiar with the contract between Flock and Cherokee County. So that would be something we could review and give a memo to council on for sure.
Should we ask for approval or to vote on it with the condition that Whit will review it and, I guess, give us...
We don't have the MOU yet to even sign, so that's still pending.
This is just for the MOU to enter into the agreement with the sheriff's
Okay.
office for them to purchase for us.
Okay.
May I
Well,
make a comment?
sure.
On that? I just believe that no matter what, this is just my personal opinion, is saving data versus saving an abducted child is irrelevant to me. And I don't know what a third party, what they save and what they don't. I just know in this day, technology, the way it is, we're going to be, every time you get on Google, you're tracked. Or, there's data that is taken, what you're searching for and everything. I just don't see a way around it in today's time.
Well, given that, the Cherokee County Sheriff's Department is a very good operation. I think we need to be, personally, I feel like we need to be in line with what they do. And so we work together and hopefully protect things that we want to not have a problem with. And being able to see who's going in and out, particularly out of the city, is important, I believe, too.
So that I have proper marching orders here, what is the data that we're concerned about the company storing? Is it tag numbers, frequency of vehicle travel? What are we specifically concerned about?
They're building a giant camera network that records people's comings and goings across the nation, and makes that data available for search by any of its law enforcement customers. It's a huge mass surveillance tool. They feed on our fears and are taking advantage of that to be the biggest big brother there is, and it's a private company.
Right. I know from what I know about this, one of the, I guess, popular criticisms is that is law enforcement going to use these cameras to capture information and pull somebody over without a reason to do so? And I don't think, at least from my perspective, our police force doesn't do that, if that's a concern.
I think one of the concerns that I was kind of researching, maybe a little bit like Annette was, I'm in support of them and what they do, because they do work well. There are, New Hampshire has a state law though that if it's picking up people that are not who you're looking for, you're not looking for a child abductor or a criminal, that after so many hours, 24-hour period or so, it drops them out. I guess there's a way that the company can put that in, but my question before our meeting was if it was being controlled by us or controlled by Cherokee Sheriffs.
Right.
So if it's under their contract, I'm sure they have those parameters that put in, but that was probably what the concern, that's what
Right.
the other concern would be.
So yeah, we would just need to
Because
review
a
that.
third-party company, Flock, could sell that data.
Right. So yeah, we would just need to review the contract with the county to make sure that any concerns that council and citizens may have could be addressed.
Well, should we not act on it tonight? Should we table it or approve it after your,
Yeah.
as long as you approve that review?
I guess in an abundance of caution, that would probably be the thing to do, but that would be up to council. I mean,
I believe we should move forward.
I do too.
That's fine. We don't have to all agree.
Okay, well, could I have a motion then to approve moving forward?
Motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion and seconded. I might add that I would like for Whit to review,
sure.
but personally, my confidence in the sheriff's department already being involved, that it's not any risk to it that some may say there is. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? One opposition?
Yep.
Okay, you got that, Karen? Annette? 4-1.
I'd just like to say real quick before we move on, I want to thank Vicki for her hard work on working with Sheriff Reynolds, and if Sheriff Reynolds was here, I wanted to thank him, and maybe you can pass on for him chipping in and helping offset this cost to the city, because it's a big cost that he helped us with, and I think that's great.
Yes. Well, he's a good sheriff. Okay, at this time, that completes new business. Next item, normally we have city manager comments, but those were provided at the work session. Chris, any particular ones that need to be reiterated?
I believe so. No.
Gary covered it well.
Okay, well, we may have a short meeting here. That's good. As I mentioned about the Economic Development Committee, I really want us to spend time in our work sessions to put together something that, I want us all to be on the same page as far as what the committee does, because it can have a big effect on particularly downtown, trying to advocate development and the right kind of invitations for businesses, new businesses. And I'm excited that we're moving forward on it, but I appreciate you letting me put off putting the committee together until the council approves kind of the agenda for that committee. Let me ask, Scott, do you have anything you want to bring up?
Just to wish all the mothers happy Mother's Day this weekend, and the husbands or fathers out there can come to the plant sale and buy plants to give to the mothers. By that Saturday, you've got the instant gift for Sunday. So.
I'll be buying them for myself. My wife doesn't. She's the only mother in my family now, and she doesn't care about plants. Get rid of them. Vicki.
It seems like the month of May is going to be kind of busy in Ball Ground with Barbecue and Brews, the plant sale this weekend, Barbecue and Brews next weekend, and then the other, I forgot what the name of Mother's, the band. On the next
Rose.
Whiskey Rose, yes, the next time. So downtown Ball Ground should be hopping every weekend in May.
Yes, and it's doing that now every weekend. But it's so different. Dennis?
No comments.
All right, well, thank you for your presentation to Ryan. Chris?
Thank you to everybody for coming tonight. We enjoy seeing you here.
Yeah,
And it-
thanks for coming, and the plant sale is 9 to 3 on Saturday, and we're not selling anything early, but you can kind of put things aside a little bit. So
Like
that
in-
when they're
like put
ready
it
to check
like in
out,
City
check
Hall?
out.
Well, it's looking good. I walked through it today, and I encourage everybody to support our garden club here. Anesta Kada is responsible for our beautiful botanical garden and how it enhances our municipal property here with City Hall. So they do a good job, and I think this is what, the fourth or fifth one? I think so.
I think it's my first time
The
as a
sixth?
member, so.
Okay, well,
It's a nice event. I was at it last year. A lot of vendors there. It's a nice time.
it is.
So,
Hopefully it won't be
We'll
raining.
have coffee from Barrel House. Thank you for that.
Quit?
Thank y'all for
I
having me.
have one more update that Eric had shared about the
Okay, what is that?
If you're seeing a little commotion down there by Burger Bus, one of our new updates that's going on down there is we're revitalizing that, what's currently called the Pocket Park. So you'll see a lot of change going on. There's mulch down there right now, some fencing's going up. You'll see new furniture is on order, and some sunshades will be going up as well. So during July, August, September heat, as you're sitting there, you're not getting beaten down with the sun. So just as you go by, you may have wondered what was going on down there. It's not going away. It's being revitalized. It's going to look fantastic with the plans. And again, thanks to Chris, we kind of gave him some ideas, and Vicki and Annette and I were working on those, and they've come together. So it's going to look very well.
It's going to look better than it ever has, because when we first acquired that, it was used to be a hotel there. I think we paid $1,000 for it. But it again, it enhances downtown and people visiting, and I'm excited personally that we're doing this, make it look better. Thank you. With nothing else?
Nothing for me.
Okay, I have to turn it over to Karen. What have you got to add?
I was just gonna say, we lost a former council member this week, Nolan Haynes, passed away. Nolan served 4 years on the city council, 8 years of 85, 86, 87, and 88, back when we had 2-year terms. And he had had a heart condition for some time, and he passed away. His service was yesterday. He was also, I didn't realize was in the Army, so he's an Army veteran too.
Well, I remember him from the
He
council.
came on a year after we did.
Yes. Well, that was, gosh, many years ago. I'll end with Chris, anything you want to add
Yes, sir.
at this point?
I would like to add that I think folks probably noticed the tree that was overhanging the walking loop at Calvin Farmer Park. That has been taken care of. There's still some cones and equipment there, so I would urge anybody visiting to be very careful. But again, no more tree hanging over the loop.
Well, yeah, I saw that today, actually, or yesterday. It's, we have some beautiful rhododendrons out there. I don't think it fell on one of those, hopefully, but anyway, that's it's a mess, it was. Do we, anything else, let me ask the people in the audience here, anything you want to, any questions you have of the council? Okay. At this point, let me ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
All right. Second, all right. Everybody's in favor of that, I assume. All right. Thank you for attending. And Ryan, thank you so much for everything you've done for the city and for the country.